My name is Cassie Viela, realtor, investor, property manager here in San Antonio area. This is our biweekly update. So the COVID update, we are seeing it tick back up. Everybody's very afraid for Thanksgiving. I know that the city is doing their best to try to get people to stay home, but you know, we are Texans, so I don't know that that will work. So we'll see how it progresses. But we've just seen a slight uptick so far. And then here's the link again for struggling tenants. If you have any tenants who can't pay the rent or even other services like food or domestic violence services. And I'm very excited. We have data this week. I'm very glad that the Showing Time team got it together and I was able to access all of our normal data. So that was great. The showings, you can see there, we're, you know, basically exactly the same amount as we were this week last year. Still a very strong market. Lots of people looking, even despite COVID sort of being on the rise. That doesn't seem to be affecting showings. Same with rentals. There's actually more showings this year, this week this year than last year. So, and that's been my experience. I listed one of my rentals a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lot of demand, and I had several applications and filled it pretty quickly. So, it's still a pretty hot rental market. I would have no qualms about putting a rental on the market in November or even coming up in December right now. And then our weekly home sales we've been tracking over time. So it is slowing down a little bit, kind of going into that November, December holiday, typical slowdown. But we'll see if that continues or if it's kind of a temporary. I'm saying slowdown. It's not even that significantly lower. It's just slightly down from last a couple months ago. So, and then the median price, as always, has just been kind of on the steady increase. Here's the median sales price. This is for the entire MLS. And so, it's been kind of going up. Seems like it's kind of plateaued. And so that's good because it was going too crazy in my opinion. So I'm glad that it seems to be at least kind of stabling out. I hope that that continues. And then here are the pending sales by price range. So each color is a different price range. The dark blue is under 100,000. So you can see there's very few of those available in San Antonio. The green is 100 to 200. So that's kind of the investor range. That's where those nice 3-2 rental houses, that's usually the price range. So you can see like there's just really not that many. And so, there's more availability in that above $200,000 range because there's just less competition. Here in this green range, there's just so much between investors and first-time home buyers, lots of competition. And then closed sales, kind of the same story there. And then here's a chart that just kind of blows my mind. The median days on market, it just keeps going down so far. That green line, which again is the one we're talking about as investors, it's down to 22 days on market. So that basically means that if you're buying in that price range, you have to buy cash is kind of what that's telling me, because lenders aren't closing in 22 days. So it's just a bananas market. And I followed this up with the 5-year data of, the days on market, just to kind of show like typically this time of year, if you look in like the end of 2018, end of 2019, the days on market should be going up, each other, November, October, it's around 40 days on market. And then with this year, it's gone even further down. So it's just kind of blowing every expectation we have of a normal yearly cycle out of the water. And then here's your homes for sale. Again, just so low inventory in that starter home investor range. Less than 2,000 homes on the market right now for all of San Antonio. And then even new listings there. You just see there's just, again, the same story that I feel like I say every 2 weeks. There's just not enough homes being sold. There are too many buyers. There's too much demand. There's not enough inventory. And this is one that I wanted to add because it's showing the percentage of list price. So the in sales price compared to what it was listed for. And I just kind of wanted to put this in because you can see there in that all price ranges other than the under 99,000, which is kind of a different, that's going to be like the demolished homes almost. Other than that, and then the luxury homes, the median percent of list price is 100%. So in order to get a property, you are going to have to offer 100% of list price at least. That's that's just what this data is showing us, and it's been that way for a while. But I'd like to throw this in there because there's not really much of a point of making a bunch of lowball offers because they're not going to hit. You've got a market where list price is like the starting, and then all of the offers go up from there. That's where we are right now. That is not where we have always been, but that's where, the last few listings I've had that's been the story. Like, here's the starting point, and then everybody's upping each other from there.